Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new series on Transport Fever 2, which is going to be called Moneyville County. Thanks to this big town here, this is going to be our biggest town of Moneyville. And in this map we have a few other towns, we have a few industries dotted about. But here's the key thing about this map, this is a fictional map. But actually we're going to take this quite realistically. We are going to build transport up how they would build it in real life. So we have 25 million to start off with. I do have the sandbox mode enabled, so I want to actually do some stuff ourselves here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to build train lines. I'm going to do it how they would always do it in the past, of just like build some random stations and make those new towns that happened in the past. I'm going to build railway lines around the terrain. Thankfully in most places it's quite flat, but you'll see we do have a few hills here and there. We've got some industries around, but we're also going to in some places build our own, because that's how they would do it in real life. So first of all, I think we're going to start with a passenger line, which is going to go from our main town of Moneyville through Westerham to Thatcham. And Thatcham is going to be a bit of a hub. However, because this is realistically, this is 1850, we're starting off with railway lines. We're not going to have a railway line without just like adding in some more towns. That's how a lot of towns in the UK were created, just because the railway came and made them towns, put a station there. So we're going to start off with, I think, 4 platforms, quite long. We have a footbridge. We would like to put this straight in the middle of the town. So 1, 2, 3, you're going to have to go. It is on a bit of a curve here, so it'll be quite a tight exit. And what we're also going to need here, in passenger buildings, is we're going to need our own. We're going to need a building on this side. So we're going to put the building here. So we want a road that comes up like this. Then we want it to bend and run into here. There we go. So coming out of Moneyville, there are going to be railway lines going all over the place. So we are going to do realistic speed limits. We're going to come out of here at 30 miles an hour. And the first thing we're going to do, if we have the space to, we don't have the space to do it, okay, forget it for now. We're going to make this run in so it's parallel. And we are now, so how we're going to do this junction is, put it this way, semi-complicated. So first things first, we're going to have crossover on both of these lines. Then we're going to have a crossover here. This is not playing nicely. There we go. I think it's very tight, that's why. We're going to have a long exit to this station. So we've just got plenty of room to make the best junction possible. So then, we're going to have a crossover here. Which will be double. Right then, we're going to have a crossover here. Which is going to go, this is annoying me. Which is going to go here and here. Same on the other side. If it works. And then we can have another one here. You might think this is a bit unusual, but it allows one coming out of this platform to go up to this one, and then one coming out of here to go up to this track here. Which is kind of like how to make it most efficient. Now we're going to come up to 40 miles an hour. I know steam trains will not go that fast. And then there will also be a track that kind of comes in like this. And this one is going to go up. And this is going to be our main line up to Thatcham. You'll notice these are all British town names, but I did rename this one because I felt like it. There we go. And this is our big junction. So in terms of signals, the last signal before the station will be here. The last signals before the station will be here and here. Right. Now we are going to go at 70. Let's go at 80 miles an hour on this line. It's going to be fairly straight for now, and we are going to have our first station around here. So at the moment, this is a fairly simple line. We're just going to continue it on a bit, and then we're going to have a station. Because it's a fairly simple, low-key line, we're just going to have one single platform, and it didn't even need to be that long. We're going to make it 160. And for fun, we're going to give it an underpass. Let's make the entrance on this side, and we are just going to basically build a road out the front of the station, carry on the train line, which is going to cut through the terrain unless we do it in small pieces, and then we're just literally going to place down a town. Every town we'll build next as a new station will start off as a tiny town. This is Litchetminster, so we're going to rename this station to, it's a bit of a weird town name, but you know what, we're going to go with it. And then we're also going to do a level crossing here on the curved road in order to connect this road through the coal plant to Litchetminster. Now we're going to carry on at 80 miles an hour. And this terrain is a bit bumpy, not that bumpy, so what you just have to do in these situations is just take it in small turns. We have to do a bit of a cutting here, but you know, the Moneyville Transport Fund, as I have named it, has started off with 25 million. So we are going to have another town near this road here. And we are actually going to slow it down to 70 miles an hour for this level crossing. And then we are going to have here our second station, which is going to be on this side. What we do, we build a road to the station just to make sure the town connects to the station, and then we place the town down. We don't particularly want it to cross over the railway line, that's why I did the railway line before building the town last time, but we have Whitehaven. There we go. And then we're going to be heading for Westerham. So really, if you look at this railway line, we could have a kind of bridge over to Withersea here. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to build the railway line with that in mind. We're coming out at 70 here. And we're going to kind of get the railway line to bend round. And you know what? To celebrate this unique, well, not really to celebrate, because of the unique situation, we're going to build a third platform here. The road's not liking it. We're going to have a third platform at this station. There we go. And then we are going to branch off this line in order to head towards, what's its name? Westerham. We're going to branch off at 60 miles an hour, and this is where this platform will also join on. And then we're going to go back up to 75 again. Well, actually, we're going to carry on at 60 as we kind of continue to bend round to head in the right direction. And like I said, steam trains won't get up this fast anyway. Before then, returning to 70. We're going to head in a pretty straight line, though, still respecting the terrain a bit, because quite frankly, that's cheaper. And we're heading straight for Westerham now. We're not going to have any more stations on this bit. We're just going to make it nice and straight. Now we're building this one track in small pieces, but then we can just run the other track entirely parallel to it when it comes to it, and it'll run the same gradients, because as you'll see, this railway line is a bit bumpy because of the terrain. Anyway, we are approaching West Ham. Let's drag the other line parallel now. Yeah, it's not a completely flat landscape. And we're coming up to Westerham. Which, to be honest, we are going to do a 3-platform station. And the reason why we're going to do a 3-platform station here is just so it's a major enough station that I think 3 platforms is a good idea. So we're now going to slow the railway line down to 55 as we're approaching. This is miles an hour, by the way. And we're going to bring it in. We're going to have... Can we fit 240? Yes, if we go further back. So, this is going to be Station Road. There. And we're going to have to mess with this main central crossroads. I think if we run it here, it's going to be quite a tight bend leaving Westerham. Like that. And then it'd be a fairly straight run to Thatcham at this point. So, up to 55 as we leave the station. So let's just connect tracks up. So this one's going to be a terminating platform towards the direction of Moneyville, and then the 2 other tracks will come out like this, and we are just going to do this track here because I feel like it. So we're out. Once we're out of Westerham a bit, we're then going to get back up to 75 miles an hour, and we are basically just making a straight line for Thatcham. What we're going to do, we've got generally trying to build towns where the railway line and the road cross over, and this is going to be one of those situations. So we build the road at the front of the station, we make sure the train line is out of the way so that it doesn't try to build across where we're about to build the train line, and then we have a new town here, Wortham Cross. So this is Wortham Cross. There we go. This is now Wortham Cross Station. And we're going to have another station near where this wood plant is, where it crosses that road. Because back in the 1850s, railway lines would basically be built, and then towns would come wherever the railway line went. I mean, most likely some landowner would ask for a station on their land, then a station would be built there. And then sometimes people would move in near there, and sometimes they wouldn't. So this is it's not bad terrain. It's more actually that I wouldn't actually snap it onto the tracks here. I would more kind of come away a bit, personally. I would also flip it around this way, I would say. There we go. Road out the front, connect up to the main road. train line needs to run through. Now you can see there's a bit of a hill going towards Thatcham. So we're now going to slow down to 60 in order to start to bend round to try and avoid this hill. So now we've got the space. Town Nailsworth. So this is now Nailsworth. And then, because of the hill, we're going to kind of now be restricted to 60 miles an hour, I think, all the way to Thatcham. To be honest, because this would actually be a great straight line up towards Lostwithiel, we're just actually going to make this railway line go straight on and then have a junction for the line towards Lostwithiel. So 50 miles an hour, I think that's a sensible speed to bend round at. Or maybe we'll go for 45 so we can bring it in a bit. There we go. That's only 44. Anyway, this is now going to be 60 miles an hour. 40. It's going to be a tighter bend round this way, I sense. So we're going to come off straight at 40. And then 35, or is it going to be even tighter than that? It's only going to be 30 miles an hour around here, actually, with this bend. I'm going to bring it a bit longer. There we go. 30 mile an hour bend this way. It's obviously steam trains only go. It doesn't really matter to us, because steam trains can only go like 20 miles an hour in this stage of the game. Right, so Thatcham. It's going to have a terminating station, 3 platforms, 240. We're not going to have any way to get between the platforms other than to walk around the end of them. I don't know if I'm actually going to stick to 240 or just go for 200. I think I'm just going to go for 200. There we go. Station built. And then we're going to do a pretty simple junction, which is basically this line goes up, this line goes in, and then it goes down, which does mean that these two tracks here have to merge in, but for the sake of this I don't really care. So, signals. We are going to have one-way signals, we're going to have them going in there, we're going to have them there, then on the junction we're just now going to have them entering the junction. And then heading towards Nailsworth. We're going to have signals either side of the station, because we're only going to have one route to start with, but I think in the future we will have some trains that skip here. There we go. Now going to get a bit more spaced out. Then they're just going to be here before Westerham. So then we'll have a signal here, here, here. They're going to be probably a bit closer. This is quite a fast line, so once trains are moving quite fast, we can put them quite close together. Anyway, this is coming into Whitehaven. So there we go. And it's quite close to the next station of Litchminster. I really do apologise if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That's probably one of the few where I could actually be pronouncing it wrong, because the rest of them I know how to pronounce. So that's all the signals set up. So for now, we need a depot. And we are going to have a depot right by Moneyville. So depot, for now we can just have this simple depot, which is going to be about here. And essentially, it's going to have a track that kind of runs along here, 30 miles an hour. It just runs into there, to be honest. And then, but it'll also have tracks that connect it down to here. There we go. And we'll have a signal going out the depot, though it will not be one way, given that trains can also go back to the depot in this game. So we're going to have our line number 1 here, which will start at Moneyville. Which platform? We're going to get it to start on platform 4. Minster. Whitehaven. We're going to get it on the other platform at Whitehaven, platform 3. Then Westerham keeps trying to go to the terminating platforms because it keeps trying to complete its route. Waltham Cross, Nailsworth, and then Thatcham. We're going to send it into platform 3 because I feel like it. Like Nailsworth, Waltham Cross, Westerham, fairly simple now. Whitehaven, we want it on platform 1 on the correct side, even though it can cross over to that platform, Minster, and back to Moneyville. And I'm looking at how it navigates this junction. Really, it should be using this track here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this track a bit smoother, if possible. There we go. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. Because what it does is it means that, like, it doesn't interact with as much coming out of Moneyville. So that's our line 1. It is our Moneyville to Thatcham stopper. And to start off this route, we've got 13 million remaining. We're going to buy the only train available and passenger the only carriages available. So we can, what we're going to do is, because this isn't a very powerful locomotive, we're going to double up on the locomotive so that we can haul more. So we've got 54 capacity. We're going to get 3 of these trains. We're going ambitious to start off with. Let's get it on fast forward mode. Let's get 1 of these out. We don't want to send 3 on the line at once because then they will get bunched up. So we'll wait till this one is at about Westerham before we then send the next one out. Okay, there are already people waiting. It's good. 10 people on board, and this is one of our small towns as well. So if that small little town can provide 10 people, then the big towns will have loads of people queuing up. Maybe 3 trains with 54 capacity wasn't enough. Anyway, this is where our line gets a bit bumpy, and the train appears to be managing almost just fine. It did slow down a little bit there. So this train is now approaching Westerham. It's got a decent number of people on board. How many wait? 55 waiting here. We had better release the next train now. So this train, it's got 31 people on board. I would suggest building like bus or what's now halt and cart lines around the place, but it looks like we don't need to. They appear to be collecting enough people already. And all the stations seem to be quite busy, which means I'm considering whether we need more than 54 capacity on each of these trains, as that one's just filled up straight away. So we are down to 6 million now, so if we look at industry, there are going to be some easy ones. For example, Westerham, we're going to set up a bricks system, which will then eventually serve all the towns in the area that need bricks as well. So near Whitehaven, this is now the Whitehaven quarry, deal with it. We are now going to get set up Small truck stop. We're going to get high length. We're only going to have one platform here. Which is going to take stone to make bricks, and we're going to have 3 platforms here, because then 2 of them can be for bringing the bricks out. So, yep, and this is going to be, I think, Whitehaven stone, I'm going to call it. At the moment, we're just working with the industries that are in the area. And so, we're going to have a centralised road depot to supply vehicles in Westerham. So we need the cargo vehicles. We're going to get, you need a lot in this stage of the game. We're going to get 30. To do Whitehaven stone. Then we're going to get, there's a line that goes and drops off where the bricks are required in Westerham, which I'm going to put the stop there. So, Mill Road, that will then turn around and come back, and that's going to be Westerham bricks. Because there's only going to be a finite demand, Westerham only wants 18 bricks. We are then going to send out only 10 vehicles on this line. Because all of them have such low capacities, we still do need 10. So that's industry kind of getting up and running. So, Westham's going to be a bricks manufacturer, and I think in the next episode we will look at sending fuel to Moneyville. So what we are going to do now is we are going to build a fuel plant in Moneyville. Moneyville is going to be a fuel producing town, which is going to be a hub for the area. So what we are going to do, we build the fuel plant, we'll build it a bit out of town, I would say like there. We connect the roads up. There we go. This is going to be our fuel plant, which we own. This Moneyville fuel plant, which will be used to send fuel to our big city of Moneyville. Bigger city in the, one of the biggest cities in the game, which should have a bit of a decrease when we destroyed a load of it, and also all the surrounding cities. And for that we're going to need to take a load of oil from this area. We're going to refine it here, however we are actually just going to straight out delete this oil from this fuel plant because we're not going to use it. We're going to take oil from this area. We might even bring it over by train. We're going to build our train bridge through to Winchcombe so we can bring it in by train. And then we're probably going to have a small little cargo station by the fuel plant that runs into the line out of Moneyville. And then we'll have trucks to send it into the Moneyville. So anyway, yeah, that's the first episode. We have, I can get it on fast forward now. We have trains. Do I need to release the second one? Yes, I do. No, the third one, sorry. We have trains now running between Moneyville and Thatcham. I'm going to then straight up go on all the trains on this line and get some more carriages because they need them. And that's how we're going to leave it for this episode. Thanks for watching. This series, I'm probably going to get videos out once every 2 weeks on this, but I want to make them good. I want to make this series nice and realistic to how it would be built, so we are going to play by the dates. At the moment it's 19th century, this is railway boom. 20th century, well, we're going to have, basically, we are going to kind of simulate the world wars in a way that basically we're just going to take a load of money out of us. Basically, I'm just going to reduce the money on this. And then we're going to run through the 60s and 70s when basically we're going to build loads of motorways. And then we kind of come out of that when we're going to build some high-speed lines. So it's all in time. And if you don't want to miss how this series progresses, then subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.